Okay, good. Okay, so you guys are going to see some of this stuff in the videos as well. I actually learned this outside of exercise science. Okay, one of the things that I love to do is be outdoors, and some of you guys may remember that I've been a professional adventure guide. I take people down in the Grand Canyon still to this day. But one of the things that I did is I went to Tom Brown's Wilderness Survival Nature Awareness and Tracking School, and I'll put the website in here. So when you guys go there and check it out, you'll notice it's pretty cool. But what they do is they basically teach you how to go out in the wilderness and survive out there without anything. I mean, and he kind of tells it when you go to his camp and train with him there in his very first camp. They call it the standard class, where they teach you shelter, water, fire, food, okay? How to do that without anything except for what's out there in nature. He basically tells you, he says, if you can't go out into nature and survive lavishly like you're in the Garden of Eden, your survival skills suck. And that's the way he starts it off. And one of the things that he did is he taught us how to walk, and he told us that all primitive cultures walk this way. Well, it's really interesting because there's a lot of parallels with what we're talking and seeing as we do all our experiments with what he trained us in the tracker school. Okay, he said all primitive cultures, doesn't matter what continent, they didn't necessarily have, they didn't chat on Facebook, these primitive cultures, but they all walk the same way. And part of the reason why they walk the same way is nature trained them to walk that way through trial and error. If you don't walk this way, you're going to sprain your ankle, you're going to get hurt, or you're going to starve. Okay, so let me explain basically what he was talking about. First of all, he started and he told us that when the average city slicker, John Q. Public, when they walk, okay, everything is flat. We live in a concrete jungle. Everywhere, think about where you've walked recently that hasn't been on solid concrete, that's been flat and leveled off. Your sidewalks, your streets, your parking lots, Walmart, all these places, they're all solid and flat. And so what we've learned to do ever since the Middle Ages, where they started making cobblestone roads, okay, people would walk and they would commit their weight to a foot that isn't even on the ground yet. Okay, and then they would bang that heel on the ground. And the Middle Ages, that's where heels started getting put on shoes. Until then, everybody was doing sandals, moccasins, all that sort of thing. But those doggone middle-aged people, they're Dark Ages people, they started making heels on the shoes, okay, because they started doing this heel strike, okay? So the weight is committed to a foot that's not even on the ground yet, and it's hitting that ground with the heel, and it's sending a shock from the ankle through the knee, through the hip, and into the sacroiliac lower portion of the spine, okay? Then foot comes down, okay? And again, weight committed to a foot that's not even on the ground yet. What that does, excessive lean forward, bad posture, okay? Now, the other thing that we have learned, unfortunately, to do when we walk, and it depends, and you'll notice people that will do this now that you've become aware of it, okay? People will walk with a wide pitch, okay? I'll show you, this is like ballerina dancer pitch, okay, when they're going super, super wide like that, okay? But people will walk with a wide pitch, okay? That's pitch. They'll also walk with a wide straddle, Okay, what do you get when you combine a wide pitch with a wide straddle? You don't get a proper gait pattern, you get a wobble. And heavy people do this all the time. Okay, they'll wobble back and forth. Now with this wobble, we've realized, okay, we got to counterweight this because I'm going all over the place, left and right. So when I walk with the left foot, I need to put my right arm out to counteract this wobble. Okay, weight being committed to a foot that's not on the ground yet, heel strike. Those of you guys who know, here's how shin splints occur. Okay, when you have your foot pivoted out, okay, you do a solid heel strike, and then you go into an inversion off of the toe when you're running. And what that does is that shakes the tibialis, all of the tendons that connect, anterior tibialis, gastrocnemius, soleus. What it is it's shaking that muscle, vibrating, shaking that muscle on that bone. There's your shin splints right there, okay? So, how do the primitive cultures do it? Even to this day, you go to the Aborigines or you go to Africa and you look at your, well, I don't know so much about our Native Americans now, but, you know, they used to do this too, okay? They would not walk with a pitch. They would walk with zero pitch. Now, here on the Shark Skills test right here, okay, you'll notice, hopefully you guys can see this from this vantage point. You know, maybe try and expand your video so you can see it a little bit better. But my feet are on both edges of the duct tape that's here on the floor. Okay. If you guys have any comments to make sure that you give me vocal because I'm too far away from the chat box to see anything typed. Okay. Just go ahead and comment in on your audio. Okay, so my feet are on either end of the duct tape. That is what we call zero pitch. Now, there's something that we call a negative pitch. Okay, there's something we call a negative pitch, and that is kind of like your model walking on the catwalk. And there's some ladies that do that. They think it's dainty and pretty. You know, they're wagging back and forth with the hips, going zero, like you're walking on a tightrope. Okay? Okay, that is negative pitch. We don't want to do that either. Okay? It's going to aggravate your back. Okay? Or possibly aggravate your back, depending on which overactive muscles that you have. So you want zero pitch, and you want, this is of course positive straddle, okay? Zero straddle, and negative straddle. Oh, I was saying tightrope walk, that's negative straddle. Negative pitch is pigeon toe, okay? Negative pitch is pigeon toe. We want zero pitch, feet right in front. Now, let me go sideways here so you can get this sagittal view here. When you take a walk, most people, especially people who are tall, okay, they'll take a big long commitment, boom, and you see right here, I'm actually going 2 squares on that walk, boom, 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 these big huge strides, okay. What muscles you're utilizing there, the major muscle, okay, or I shouldn't say it quite like that, but you're really excessively using your calf muscle, gastrocnemius and soleus on that, okay? You take a look, I'm to propel myself that far forward, I'm really having to use that calf, okay?